I am back from the 3-week tour on the East Coast. And one of the stories I did was with a gentleman named Easton LaChapelle. He's the founder of Unlimited Tomorrow and is the inventor of TrueLimb. I did an in-depth story there, so we'll share that later on when I start airing the tour episodes. But along the way, I discovered someone by the handle of Stump Kitchen. Her name is Alexis Hillyard, and she is here today to talk with us about limb difference as a parent and in the kitchen. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I heard a lot about you when I was on my East Coast journey from the TrueLimb folks, and
That's
so I'm excited to talk with you today.
awesome. Me too. Yeah.
So let's just introduce yourself to our audience. You have a YouTube channel called Stump Kitchen. Tell us a bit about just yourself and your story.
Totally. Yeah. So I was born without my left hand, and my YouTube show came across kind of by accident. I was just like, I needed to get cooking more because I became vegan and I was gluten free, and I was a little nervous to get into cooking. But once I got into some simple recipes, I realized, I'm actually using my stump, which is what I call my arm, as a kitchen tool. And my partner was like, "That's really cool. You should film that and put it out to the world." So I said, "All right, let's give it a try." And I filmed my first episode, Waffles, and put it out there, and the world loved it, and I loved it for myself. And so I committed to doing it, at least once a week or a little less when I'm busy. And here we are. Now it's what I do for most of my work. So yeah, it's celebrating body diversity, disability, limb difference in the kitchen. And I like to get messy. I like to cook with kids and just celebrate, who I am.
Well, one of the things that I really like about your channel too is, I think that any storytelling evokes empathy, right? Or trying to have an understanding of someone else's plight or trying to understand what it's like to walk in their shoes. And I'm someone who didn't learn to cook until probably my 40s. My late husband did most of the cooking. And so I didn't have a clue how to really navigate anything but tacos and casseroles. So when I watch you do it, I feel inspired by just the different ways that you can navigate a kitchen that should make a lot of us feel like, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. Is that what the message you're trying to get across partly?
Not really, because I think for me, because I was born this way and it's the body that I know, like it's not really something that I've ever had to overcome. It's just who I am. It's how I move. What I really want, I think, is to, by putting my body out there, I'm making this educational platform for people to look and see more disabled bodies doing regular things that are not like, wow, I thought that was going to be so hard, or like I had no idea that, so and so person could like do this because of their disability. And so when I get to put it out there, people get to look and be like, "Oh yeah, I guess a one-handed person can just cook like that, or can do this, or like I never thought about it."
Yeah,
And so I
that's
like to kind
exactly
of,
what I meant. Yeah, I think that's what
yeah.
I think is that when I see you doing it, like your intent is based on your experience, and then how I receive it is based on my own. And I think that's really kind of the beautiful thing, is that each person, depending on what their challenges might be, would interpret it differently. So I feel inspired by you when I see you in the kitchen, because I myself have only recently in the last decade learned how to navigate a
Yeah.
kitchen in an effective way.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you think about parenting with limb difference and the things that you do so naturally, like you said, you were born this way.
Yep.
We're going to talk in more depth, and we're going to share one of your conversations with another parent later in the show. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, when you were deciding to have children, was it like you said, this is who I am, this is how I've always been, I can do this? Or did you have some reservations or some concerns about
Mm.
parenting with limb difference?
That is such a great question. And at first I didn't really think I would have any fears or reservations. And I was just like, yeah, we're doing this. It's going to be amazing. Like, I can't wait to have a baby. But then as I was pregnant, I was, we got a bunch of hand-me-down clothes to, clothe our little one when they were born. And I thought, let's just practice. I'm going to practice buttoning up this snap suit on this stuffed animal. And for some reason, baby clothes, most of them have 1,000 snaps, 1,000 buttons. And I was doing this, and it was really tricky. It was hard to do. It was taking a long time. And it was my first sense of like, oh crap, like this is going to be tricky. This might be hard. And I kind of had a breakdown and I cried a little bit, thinking like, how am I going to do this with my baby? But I'm used to that. Like I come up against little barriers like that, and I was able to work through and say like, okay, listen, these clothes are not the only option. There's Velcro, there's like other types of things. I can also ask for support. Like who doesn't need support as a parent? So I kind of worked through some different ways of doing it. And then once my baby was here, and as soon as I held them in my arms, it was like, oh, we're going to figure this out together. Okay, I got you. It almost made it easier when Joven arrived for some reason, because I don't know, this is the body that they know, and they're used to me doing the things that I do in my own way, and now I carry them different than, than mom carries. Like mama carries them different than mom does, and they know it, and it's amazing. So yeah, it was definitely some mental hurdles to overcome, but I'm, really, really glad we have a family, and I can be the parent that I am.
Maybe you should start a clothing line for
Right?
infants and toddlers without
I
some
think so.
buttons and snaps and all the things.
Yeah.
We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce one of your guests to our show. As we talked before we started this interview, you have such amazing content, and you're so good at it, and you work so hard at it. So one of the things I want to try to do for our audience is show them what you do instead of tell them what you do. So we'll come back in just a moment. We're talking with Alexis. If you want to check out her handle, it's Stump Kitchen. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back. We're talking with Alexis Hillyard. You can check out her YouTube channel and her handle on Instagram, Stump Kitchen. We've been talking, Alexis, about just your interest in showing how you navigate the kitchen and how you navigate parenting and these things. And what I want to share now is the part about how you want to have those discussions with other parents and people with limb difference. So we're going to share an interview or a discussion you had with one of your peers here in a moment, but tell us about that part of the messaging that's important for you on your platform.
Totally. Yeah. I think it's really, for me, I have this honor and privilege of, not only showcasing myself and my story, but bringing other people into the conversation, because I think that's important to kind of diversify what you're doing. And for me, I get to meet other people like me, which is a rarity in our world. Like it's not every day you get to meet somebody with a disability or with a limb difference like you. So that's exciting. So I get to meet new friends. It's kind of a selfish part of it, which is lovely, but also, connect to other communities that they may not be, connected to. So, I met this awesome person who has TAR syndrome, meaning like the shortening of her arms. And from meeting her on social media and connecting and doing videos together, not only are we good friends, but, her whole community has opened up, and now she's met other people with TAR syndrome she hadn't before. And so I feel like it's this beautiful gateway or connection into a larger world of people that you might not have met beforehand, pun intended. That's really, really nice. And I also think just like general visibility and talking about our experiences is so important for the general non-disabled public, because there are still negative stereotypes, negative assumptions around disability. And I love to break those myths, and I love to do it in conversation with other people with disability in their experience. And so it's such a great, privilege that I get to have these conversations and showcase them on my platform.
I'm a huge believer in the power of storytelling. I think it can heal lives. I think it can enrich lives. I think it's how we remain high functioning, right? We start to, or try to become high functioning. We empathize with other people. We learn of the plight of others, and we can be better because of it, really. And you do it so well. You do it so well. You are a fine storyteller. So let's go right into, we're going to break away from our discussion and go into the discussion that we are choosing to share from your platform. Take a look.
Is Stump Kitchen messy or clean?
Messy.
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free vegan eats, stumptastic treats.
Yeah. Ooh, raspberry on the bed.
Bone drop. Boom.
Have you ever seen this? We're gonna make watermelon pizza. Have you ever made that before? You have? Have you watched Stump Kitchen before? And does Stump Kitchen, oh, that's so perfect. Is Stump Kitchen messy or clean?
Messy.
So do you think we need a towel to help protect the bed? Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna go get one. Be right back. We're gonna make,
Touch it.
touch it. Normally you wouldn't cut anything on a hotel room bed, but it's Stump Kitchen. There's a towel. It's fine. Here we go. Ah! I'm gonna make little slices so we can do a pizza.
This is my room.
This is my room. Does it look kind of like your room? Oh no, not at all. It's probably a little dirtier than your room.
Now it's ready.
We did it! Our pizza is ready. In real life pizza, like if you're having a regular pizza, what kind of pizza do you like?
Chocolate.
Chocolate pizza! Oh, I dropped it. Way to go! You did it! You're so good. Welcome to Stump Kitchen!
Hello. Welcome to Stump Kitchen.
Hello! This is Ethan!
We're gonna make
We're gonna make a
We're gonna be making a vegan pizza.
We're gonna make a vegan pizza! Oh, Ethan, I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah.
This is so great. Yeah, I'm having a little sweat. We're halfway there. We're doing it. I also put on a little bit of mascara, you know.
I think we broke it.
Oh, did we break it? Okay. Okay, now there's red peppers everywhere on the floor, so we're just gonna
Pick them up.
pick them up.
Da, 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 da.
Can you stay at my house all the time and clean the floor?
Oh, my eyes are burning.
Are they? I don't know how to prevent that actually. It's just
Sunglasses.
I wear my. I'm just gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna go down. Okay.
Okay.
Limbs out. Let's start counting. We'll start counting with Jamie so you don't have to hold that too long.
Okay. 5. Right hand.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
and a half.
17 and a half, 18 and a half, 19 and a half,
51.
and
Oh
And a
yeah.
half.
51 and a half!
Yay!
That feels like a whole bunch.
Why do we even need more
Don't
than
need
that?
more than that.
I've been talking with Alexis Hillyard, and I've been sharing much of this platform to share with you her platform. She's kind of taking over a couple of segments of this episode, which is fun. I like to show what you do instead of just telling our audience what you do. One of the things that's very important to you, as we've discussed, is your role as a parent, and now also trying to help children with limb difference see themselves as, you know, capable of all things, including things in the kitchen. So we're going to show some really fun stuff from that part of your Stump Kitchen YouTube channel. So talk about that for a moment, why that's important to you.
Absolutely. I think, you know, I have this one guest who comes on my show quite a bit, and you know, I met her when she was 8 years old. Her name is Callie, and we'll show a clip of us cooking together. But the first time I met Callie, we met through Facebook. I connected with her mom, and her mom was like, my little one's just like you want to meet? And I was like, yeah. So the first time I met her, she walked through the door and it was winter. And I looked at her and I was like, winter coat zippers, am I right? And she was like, yeah, I hate them. And I was like, yeah, me too. And we had this immediate like bond through this shared experience that you can't really get with other people that don't have a similar experience or a similar body than you. So that was incredible. I felt really honored that I could be this this mentor, this role model, this person that she could kind of look and be like, okay, I kind of see myself in her. She seems kind of cool, I hope. And like, because me growing up, I didn't have a lot of role models in social media. Well, there wasn't social media when I was growing up, but like out in public or in the news or on TV shows, there was a big lack, a big absence of that. And so I think for Callie and I to connect, not only did I get to see this beautiful little one who for me was like my inner child, I was like, oh, I was getting so much love from that. But she was also getting to be completely free and open to express who she was. And, and she had someone that really understood it, So when we were opening, can openers, it was like, this sucks, this is hard. Or, we got to juice lemons on our arms for the first time together. And just watching her try those things for the first time with me was such a joy. And I just think it's a really cool part of their growth to kind of be like, yeah, you are who you are. And this is absolutely amazing. So
it's a validation, probably a lot of what they as children have thought, but maybe couldn't articulate or maybe, couldn't have experienced without someone like you helping them experience it in that really genuinely loving way.
Absolutely.
When you've had the guests, we're going to share some of that in just a moment. When you've had guests, children, child guests in your kitchen, what do you think that they come away with? Or, your goal is to help them, but I'm sure that they help you even more. So what is that give and take, do you think overall is the message you're trying to come across?
I honestly think, I think it's quite simple. I think it's just, we have this connection and we both kind of say like, I see you, you're here and you're not the only one, you're not alone, and you are good just the way you are. And we just have that unspoken rule and agreement that like, yeah, I see you, you got this, we got this together. And it's just so uplifting. It's incredible.
Well, like I said, I'm just going to give you over the rest of this segment for this episode. And we're going to share various clips of you in the kitchen with your friends who also share your similar limb difference. So we're going to take it all the way to break. So I'll just take this opportunity to thank you for being here and thank you for being willing to share your content with our audience and your story and your inspiration.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
New segment of Stump Kitchen that I just thought of just this second. Stump Chats. Stump Chats.
It's time for Stump Chats.
So Molly, have you ever wished that you had two hands?
When I was younger, but not for a long time. I think I've wished for, I don't want to say the respect, because it's not respect, but like the same kind of consideration, assumed consideration that able-bodied people get versus those who are maybe not. But in terms of like, actually, do I want a second hand? I think at this point in my life, like it'd just be very alien to me.
Could you imagine if like all of a sudden you had like 10 fingers? Like what would you do with it?
I don't know. I guess like, mostly I'd probably just scream for a while.
You would scream?
Yeah, because if like I woke up with two hands, I don't know what I would think.
Yeah, I would just be like, what the? People ask me a lot like, do you wish you had two hands? I'm like, no, because if I had an extra, like that would be like a foot of extra body.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would just be like fumbling around, breaking shit.
I'd be like breaking it behind me.
Like, it's so heavy. I don't know how to do my hair.
And I mean like the shapes of my arms are like very different.
would just be confusing. I wouldn't know how to carry things because I'm so used to carrying things next to my body and away from my body like this.
Say, but I'd have less stained shirts at like this level.
That's true. Our laundry costs would go down.
Or when you have to introduce yourself to somebody but you're holding a drink.
Oh, hey!
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hi, yeah, I'm Alexis, hey! Every time. And like wine all over you. Oh, it's just the best. And sometimes you freak people out. They're just like,
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free, vegan eats, and stumptastic treats for two.
I had this conversation with another friend of mine. We were talking about clothing and getting dressed and stuff, which like I never even think about to talk about, but it's actually really interesting and really cool. Like I hate things with zippers in the back, like fancy dresses. No, like it's nice to have someone around to do that for me. I'll figure out a way, but I'll get sweaty and I'll get grumpy. Putting on necklaces, it's like an Olympic event. It's like, yes. Wow. You and I have known each other for a while now, but look, we're just starting to become friends, which is so awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so great. Remind me what words you use to describe your arm.
What words I use to describe it?
Yeah.
Well, it has some nicknames. Army is one. There's also one that I was given by a good friend, and it's Amsado.
Amsado.
Which means loved one. Very loved.
So great. And I use the word stump mostly. Do you use the word stump too? Yeah. When I was younger, I would say things like baby arm. But it's funny, I think a lot of people don't really know how to describe it. If they're trying to refer to my left arm, they're like, oh, you're, and I'm like, stump. It's really cute.
Yeah, most of the time I just get like non-existent arm, you know? Because mine is like quite short.
Yeah.
I'm an above elbow amputee. I have a little finger. You have a little, oh, you have two little fingers, hey?
3.
Oh.
They're just so small.
Oh, love it.
So that's a little finger?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like to think.
Of course it is. I bite this nail too, and I have to cut it once in a while.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's quite short right now, but it'll grow out, and
Oh, okay.
I'll bite it, or I'll have to clip it off. Once in a while, I'll put a bit of nail polish on, and it's just like, yeah, it's good times.
I like to paint like this little tip right here, even though there's no actual nail. Sometimes you gotta get fancy.
It's time for Stump Chats.
What's your favorite thing to do for fun?
Ooh, climb on the walls.
Climb on the walls.
Build Lego.
Cool. What's one thing that you would want to say to the world about people who stare and stuff?
Your eyes can die out.
Please don't stare.
Yeah, don't stare.
It's creepy.
It's super creepy. Just don't do it.
Don't.
And it makes me feel super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
Sometimes when you do it, you want to like hide your arm.
Yeah, you make
You
us
don't want to do that.
No, you don't want to hide who you are. What are some good messages that you want to tell the world about having one hand?
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's the best.
You can still do lots of stuff.
Heck yeah, you can. You can do everything.
Like on the monkey bars, you bump scoot all the way across.
What?
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
And that is how I lost my hands, my friends.